Hello everybody, it's Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and I'm a week late to say Happy New Year, but I'm going to say Happy New Year to everybody. Yeah, today is Sunday, January the 7th, and we're going to talk about this in just a second, and I can't believe Casey's already joined us. Yeah, but anyway, so we're going to talk about this little event here in just a second, but first I want to say that today, oh, and Alan's here too. But first I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. I know I missed you guys last week, but trust me, it was worth it. Hey Sheila. Yeah, so today's January the 7th, and if you're watching with us live, then you're watching with us live. If you're watching this on demand somewhere later, like YouTube or on Facebook, then, and hey, Angie's back. So hey June, hey Angie, hey Kim. But if you're watching this somewhere later, hey Aaron, like on YouTube, then, yeah, this is a live chat, so I promise I'll tell you all later. Hey Cynthia, hey Carol, hey Betty. I'll tell you all later, those of you watching on YouTube, if you'll read the, hey Pamela, if you'll read the notes when I post it on YouTube, I'll tell you when the actual chat starts, because I have a feeling, hey Tedders, hey Donna, hey Debbie, because I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of chatting tonight. So those of you watching later on YouTube, you might get kind of irritated if you don't know what's going on. But anyway, hey Vicky, hey Karen, hey Laura. Yeah, and thanks guys, thanks for the congratulations. Hey Tammy. Yeah, I know Betty says love your shirt. Okay, so let's pause. I'm sorry, if you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget, it's just youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg, and hey Judy, and hey Joyce. So if you're watching this on YouTube, youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg, hey Barbara, then don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe so that you can keep seeing more of these. Hey Anna, hey Sybil, and yes, Casey said she's glad that they could both make it. Hey Rose. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So I missed last week. Does anybody remember why? Anybody know why? Yeah, Proud Mom and Dad are on here tonight. Hey Tina, hey Meredith, and yeah, okay, so Angie hasn't been here in a little while. She says, how's the pressure cooker working? Angie, we had a whole different kind of pressure cooker going on while you were gone. Yeah, Casey had her own little pressure cooker going on. Hey, Karen. Yeah, and so Alyssa decided to make her appearance 2 weeks early. So I had, yeah, and Allie says, Alyssa Lily. So, and hey, Mary from Nova Scotia, so glad you could join us. But yeah, so Alyssa decided to make her appearance 2 weeks early. So I had this whole New Year's Eve, chat, planned out. Hey, Cheryl, chat planned out. And instead, Casey called and said, actually, Alan called and said, hey, we're at the hospital. You might want to come on over. It's like in the middle of the night, and he's so calm. I mean, calm as a cucumber, absolutely calm as a cucumber. We didn't get to talk to Casey at that time because they were, checking everything out, checking her and Alyssa out and making sure they were okay. And hey, Melissa from Houston. But Alan was just absolutely cool as a cucumber. Just, I mean, literally in the middle of the night. Hey, it's time. Y'all might want to get ready. You might want to head this way. Just absolutely, calm. So those of you who were praying for a safe, healthy, and quick delivery, thank you, because we got exactly what you prayed for. I know Casey would tell you that it was a little bit harder than I'm going to describe here, and I won't go into gory details, but I did get to stay in the labor and delivery room with her, and it was awesome and amazing, and she really had a fairly easy labor, I think. I think she would say it was, and only had to push for 40 minutes. So those of you all who prayed for that, thank you very much. Casey and Alyssa are doing well. Daddy Alan is doing well also. So basically this entire week, so Alyssa is 1 week old today. Her name is Alyssa Lily, and she was born on December the 31st at 11:59 a.m. So 1 minute before noon. Everybody keeps thinking that it was 1 minute before before the new year, and they're like, oh, why couldn't the doctor just hold on for one more minute? It was 1 minute before noon. 1 minute before noon, yeah. So she was 12 hours and a minute away from being the first New Year's baby. Hey, Lynn. But as far as I know, she was the only baby born at that hospital, during that time period. There was one born before her. She was the only one born in between the first one and actually New Year's Eve. So I don't think she gets any awards for that, but it's still, still kind of cool. But she was 6 pounds, 13 ounces, and I think 19.5 inches long. But yeah, everybody's doing great. So, and yeah, and I get to sport the grandma t-shirt. And yes, I know it's backwards, so people on YouTube later, you don't need to tell me that it's backwards. I know it's backwards, but it still says grandma. And notice that it is, yeah, notice it's Mickey ears. So this is what Alan got us for Christmas. He got John one that says grandpa and got me one that says grandma. So anyway, but yeah, so we have spent a week doing nothing except for baby watch. I haven't tracked. I haven't grocery shopped until today. I haven't watched what I've eaten. I haven't gotten nearly enough water. I mean, I'm already, y'all know I get parched during these. I am already parched, like I'm starting out parched. And hey, Sandra, I'm starting to not parch, so you'll have to forgive me if I sip some water. I haven't walked. I haven't done anything except for snoodle a baby and take care of Casey. So yeah, and I don't regret it at all. Everybody kept saying that the grandma gig was the best thing ever, and I totally agree. Yes, I have not regretted being absolutely lazy all week long. Hey, Happy Joel. But I really haven't regretted being, just absolutely lazy, just baby lazy. Anyway, so everybody, thank you. Thank you for your, thank you for your prayers and your well wishes. And Casey and Alan are both here. I would venture to guess that if we had tried to do a live last week, that Casey wouldn't have attended. Isn't it crazy what a difference a week makes? She's, they're kind of getting in sync. They're, kind of getting their schedule going. And yeah, so I think everything's great at the Alyssa Lily house. So, okay, first things first, I need a timekeeper. So who wants to be my timekeeper tonight? We've got three sort of recipes to talk about at the end. And so I need a timekeeper who is going to let me know when it's about 20 till. So who's my timekeeper going to be? And Angie's still, okay, Angie is back, and she is back with a vengeance. So she's still on that pressure cooker thing. Angie actually I never got a pressure cooker. But Angie, it is super, super good to see you back. Casey and I were just talking about you the other day, wondering where you had disappeared to. So I am very glad that you're back. Didn't get a pressure cooker yet. Need to get one, but okay, and Barbara will watch the time for me. So yeah, and Cheryl too. So Cheryl's always a good timekeeper. So you all, Barbara and Cheryl, if you'll let me know at 20 till. And Karen said too, okay, got lots of timekeepers tonight. So if you all will just help me keep up with when it's about 20 till, about 15, 20 till, yeah, we've got 3 different kinds of food to talk about. Okay, you all have about a month of freestyle under your belts. So for those of you who went ahead and switched over in December, attended a meeting, remembered your login and password because you were good and you remembered your, what I made you promise to do. So for those of you who went ahead and kicked over to freestyle, you all have been doing it for about, you've been doing it for about a month now. So how's it going? Since I missed you all, let's see, while you all have been on freestyle, or while we've been on freestyle, we had one meeting from Disney. Then I had a pre-recorded while John and I were driving back from Disney. Then, let me think, then we had one on Christmas Eve. Hey, Mary. Then we had one on Christmas Eve. And then we had skipped one because Alyssa decided to show up early, and now tonight. So I've literally only talked to you all twice since you've started freestyle. And Donna is brand new to Weight Watchers. So Donna, when we talk about freestyle, just hang on there, because for those of us that have been doing Weight Watchers for a while, freestyle is just the newest version of the plan. So Donna, it's probably the only plan you know. So you're already ahead of us because you don't have any preconceived notions about other plans. But so except for this week. Oh, and hubby Joel is a new freestyler, so awesome. Awesome, Joel, you're gonna love it. For those of you who have been on it for this month, I'm seeing lots of, like Karen says she's playing with new recipes and it's been a whole lot of fun. Joyce says she loves freestyle. Jennifer says she loves freestyle. Yeah, so, okay, it's kind of a toss-up. People either really love it or they really don't. And Betty's loving it. So people either really love it or they really don't. And the people who really don't, I think, I've been trying to kind of, I don't know, kind of psychoanalyze, I guess, a little bit of why maybe they're not loving it so much. Some of the people, I just, kind of listening to them, I think some people who are not enjoying it is because they, oh no, Angie says he hates it. He'll get used to it. He really will. He'll get used to it. Okay, and Wendy's going to start after the holidays, and then she got the flu. Oh no! I hope you feel better. Oh no, you don't want the flu. That's so bad. But the people who haven't liked it are people who seem to me to either be nervous about it. They were nervous. They didn't know where to start. Kind of didn't know what to do. Or people who thought that some of the new 0-point foods, if it was a food that they didn't like, that they I don't know, people have had a weird aversion to some of the foods that they don't like beans or tofu. You don't have to eat beans or tofu. Just because it's on the 0 points list doesn't mean you have to eat it. Yeah, you don't have to eat it. But as we're chatting tonight, though, I'm going to encourage you to try and fit some of these things into your eating plan, you know, even if you haven't liked them in the past or if you haven't been used to eating them. So, okay, how many, and we've already seen a couple of people that are new, So how many of you attended a meeting this week? So that would have been the week, let's see, since I missed a whole week, that would have been, how many of you attended a week, how many of you attended a meeting last week? So that would have been in between Christmas and New Year's, and how many of you attended a meeting this past week, which would have been in between New Year's and today? So those of you, oh yeah, so thumbs up. So everybody that attended a meeting, you can either type in, I did, yeah, yes me, raise your hand, or, you know, do a thumbs up or a heart if you attended a meeting, if you're watching it here with us live. If you are watching this later on demand on YouTube, and that's www.youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg, if you're watching it there, you won't be able to see the thumbs ups, and you won't be able to tell me that. Oh, and Carol says she tried tofu and she really liked it. So we'll need to see, you know, we'll need to hear from Carol how she you know, did that. Oh, and Kathy hit lifetime. Kathy, congratulations! Everybody, tell Kathy, if y'all can see her name right there. If you can see Kathy there, tell her congratulations. She reached lifetime this week. That's awesome to reach it during a holiday week. So those of you who attended a meeting in these last 2 weeks, congratulations. Congratulations. You all attended meetings during the, yeah, and Cheryl says this is my meeting. So thank you for attending tonight, Cheryl. Those of you that attended, and Carol says this is her meeting too. Yeah, so those of you that attended a meeting or attended our meeting this week, awesome. So here's your high five. If I had Bravo stickers, I'd be handing them out to you all. Congratulations on attending during what has to be I'm going to say the worst 2 weeks of the year. Yeah, if you can make it through the last 2 weeks of the year and attend a meeting, pay attention, you know, do something to stay on track, then way to go. You certainly do deserve a Bravo sticker, and I wish I could stick Bravo stickers here on this for you, but congratulations. Seriously. I got to tell you, as much as I loved being with Alyssa, and again, wouldn't give that time up for anything, I missed going to my meeting. I got to see, actually talk to and see 3 of my Weight Watchers this week at the Stone Shop, and it was nice just to have our own little personal meeting, you know, there at the shop and kind of catch up on you know, what was going on, and yeah, it was just kind of nice. So I have another question. How many of you are brand new? So we already have 2 people. So we already have hubby Joel, and I forgot somebody up here was brand new. How many of you are brand new to Weight Watchers? So if you're brand new, this is your very first time around with Weight Watchers, you've never done Weight Watchers before, you don't understand why we're making such a big deal about freestyle, because that's normal, right? Because that's the only plan you know. So if you're brand new to Weight Watchers, give me a thumbs up, and then if you wouldn't mind too, just shout out here in the comments so that we can see who you are, because we have lots and lots and lots of very knowledgeable and very experienced life lessons, some of them hard life lessons, yeah, that we have learned, and we would love to share them with you. So if anybody's brand new to Weight Watchers, if you're watching this live on January the 7th, please, oh, and Joel says here, because he's brand new. Yeah, who else have we got? And congratulations, Joel. I know you're going to fight this a little bit in the beginning, but I promise you're going to be so much better on the back side of this. You're going to be so much happier. So if you'll just hang in there, you know, and just give it a try. But who are our other new people? Because we would love to help you. We'd love to give you some advice. So if you're watching it here live with us, just give me a shout out. If you're watching this later, either on Facebook or if you're watching it on YouTube, if you'll go ahead and comment, I promise I'll answer them. I only took 1 week off. 1 real week off, like didn't I really didn't get on at all, and that was only to post pictures of the baby. I don't usually do that. So I promise I'll answer them if you comment. And also I have, and we have Donna is brand new. Awesome. So we also have Jordan, who is helping us out while Casey is on baby duty while she's being a mama. We have Jordan helping us. And so if you all comment on some of these things, then, I mean, if you comment, you know, and let us know that you're new, Jordan will help us keep up with you as well, to help you, you know, to help welcome you and to help get you started. Okay, so y'all know me. I'm going to sit here and talk, just jabber, 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 you know, the whole time. And let's see. Oh, it's only 8:15. I'm not doing too bad. Okay, so Angie says that hubby Joel is having problems snacking in the car. So if anybody's got any advice for him on, you know, ways to handle that, that would be great. Yeah, and Lacey says, how are mommy and baby doing? And they are doing awesome, and they're actually here. I think they're still on here. So fortunately, this must be in between times to eat for Alyssa. So that was awesome timing on our part. And she got her newborn pictures made today. So just be prepared. When those are given back to us, y'all are going to be inundated with pictures. Anyway, okay. So I found some new items. Hadn't been to the store. And Donna's meal prepping while she watches. Awesome. That's awesome. Another great thing to do while you're either watching, like if you can't watch this live, if you're going to watch it later on Facebook or on YouTube, we've got a couple of people that do this while they're on their treadmill. And somebody has figured out how to make this run, not with the video, but how to make this run like a, what am I trying to say? Like a, help me out, Casey. What are they called? When you're just listening to them talk. Anyway, so somebody's figured out how to do that. I would love to know how, like a podcast. So somebody has figured out how to take these and listen to them just like a podcast, so they can listen to them in the car, or they can listen to them while they're working out without having to be able to see a video. Yeah, thanks, Kim, a podcast. So, so I think that's, you know, a great idea. So I haven't been to the store in over a week, and yeah, we needed to go desperately. So Kroger Click List has spoiled me, and I went ahead and did another one of those last night. And thank you, everybody that's saying podcast. Yes, thank you. So it's kind of spoiled me. I really, really, really want to go to Publix this week or to Trader Joe's. I kind of need to go back to one of the two of those. But I had to go ahead and do a Kroger Click List, because it's stinking easy. And, you know, and John could go by and pick it up. So we crammed a whole lot into today. Now, we always cram a whole lot into a Sunday, but we crammed a whole lot into today. And John, yeah, Aldi. I know, Angie, I haven't been to Aldi. Gosh, I haven't been to Aldi in probably a month, which means I'm way past due to go to Aldi. But, yeah, so the click list, though, the reason it's kind of spoiled me, it's not everything that I want to pick up, and they don't show all the things that I buy on the click list, but it's super easy, you know, for kind of your, you know, staple things. But I wanted to show you some new things that a couple of these I've had before, but a couple of them were new to me, and they're going to be on, I'm going to be adding them to the app. So the If You Have an Egg app is a running list of things that I found that are SmartPoint friendly and now Freestyle SmartPoint friendly. And I'm updating those. So like eggs will go to 0, you know, different kinds of beans will go to 0. So things like that. And Angie's asking what click list is. If somebody can explain it to her while I keep talking, that would be great. Or I'll answer you later if nobody else, surely somebody else can tell you what click list is while I'm talking. But anyway, so all of these will be added to the If You Have an Egg app. And if you already have it, thank you. It's in process of being updated. I'm actually paying Jordan to help me with this, so she'll be updating a lot of the things for me so that we can get all those up to date and current. And some of these new things, I got this on the Kroger Click List this time, Lantana hummus. And yes, YouTube people, I know it's backwards, but this one is a sriracha carrot hummus, and I tried this on some sugar snap peas. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm taking for my snack for lunch or for work tomorrow. But the Lantana sriracha carrot hummus, it's for 2 tablespoons. It's 2 SmartPoints. Yeah, those are awesome. Oh, and for people who don't already have the app, it is $2.99, but it's $2.99 because I have to pay a maintenance fee every month, and I have to yeah, I have to pay the maintenance fee every month. So if we sell about 30 apps a month, it pays for the maintenance on the app. So all the work that I do on it is free. I mean, I donate my time, and now I'm paying for Jordan to spend some time on it, but it's important to me though that we get it, you know, that we get it all updated and we get it all updated quickly. So anyway, that is yummy. I'm gonna have that for my snack tomorrow. And also the Lantana white bean hummus. Absolutely love it. This was 2 tablespoons for 4 smart points, and now it's 2 tablespoons for 3 smart points. But it's just white beans, and it has a pine nut and herb topping. Really delicious. I've gotten quite a few of the Lantana hummus and love them. Yeah. Hey, and I see Sally. Hello, Sally. Good to see you. Yeah. So, Sally, we're just in the middle of talking about some new things. And the app also has all the recipes. You can access YouTube. So like if you're out and about and you don't want to get on YouTube, you can go through the If You Have an Egg app, and it's available on the Apple Store and in the Google Play Store. And you type in If You Have an Egg, all run together. Thanks, Sally. She said, "Congrats, Grandma." But you run it all. Oh, and Sally didn't see my shirt yet. Ta-da! Yeah. So I'm wearing that proudly. And I'm deciding this is an awesome gig. So people tell you all the time that grandkids are better. They're serious. They are on it. I'm one of those people now saying that grandkids are better. Yeah. And she's only a week old, and it's already like, it's a done deal. It's sealed. Oh, and by the way, so everybody that thinks that they've already seen the cutest baby on the planet, no. Now we've seen the cutest baby on the planet. Yeah. She definitely has Alan's nose. But a lot of the rest of her face looks like Casey. And she has hair. Casey was bald until she was almost 2 years old. And Alyssa already has hair, so we're very happy for it. This, my dad found at Sam's. So my dad is now a great-grandfather. Oh, by the way, Alyssa has 9 great-grandparents living. 9 great-grandparents. That's crazy. But anyway, my dad, who is Baba, he panicked. He didn't know what else to get him. He had no idea how to help him. He really wanted to help, but he didn't know what to do. So for some reason, everybody got a can of this from Sam's. I got a can. Casey and Alan got 2 cans. I think he got a couple of my brother a can. I'm not really sure why we all needed canned chicken breast as a welcome home to Alyssa, but bonus. So this is the Sam's. This is Sam's brand. It's Members Mark Premium Natural in Water Chunk Chicken Breast. So I scanned it. It's 0. So if you have a Sam's card, 0 smart points. So I can already see a lot of ideas in my future. Yeah, and Sybil says they sell canned chicken at Costco too. Yes, they do. I just haven't been to Costco in probably a month. But yeah, 0. So I was very excited about this and very thankful that my dad blessed us all with a can of chicken. Because I'm thinking either chicken enchilada soup or, I don't know, maybe jalapeno mac and cheese, but we'll talk about that later because we do have actually a chat to talk about tonight. But anyway, so that's 0. Then this is something that I got on the click list last week when we were prepping for Casey and Alan to come home. Didn't know that it was, you know, already baby time, but we you know, we're getting some things ready for them to be in the freezer for when it was. This Jimmy Dean, hey Nancy. So this Jimmy Dean fully cooked oh yeah, and I'm sorry, so one of our Karens, my nickname for her is Windstar Karen, but anyway, so Windstar Karen, I completely forgot she made a buffalo chicken dip. How many points was the buffalo chicken dip, Karen? I can't remember, because you know, I've just barely been peeking in on you all, but she uploaded a buffalo chicken dip recipe, which would be perfect made with this, but she uploaded it to the file section of our If You Have an Egg group. So if you're in the If You Have an Egg group, go ahead and hop on over to the files section and you can find Karen's buffalo chicken dip. If you're not already in the If You Have an Egg group, you're going to have to be a little patient because I took 1 week off. Guess how many people are asking to get in? 3,000. 3,000. There are 3,000 people waiting to get in. Yeah, sorry. The baby was too cute and she's got that little peach fuzz going on, so I just had to rub her. I had to rub her for a week instead of letting people into the group, so sorry, I'll let you in later. And Karen says that the buffalo chicken dip is 1 smart point for 1/4 of a cup. What? And it would be awesome just to dip veggies into it and still just be 1 smart point, you know, for 1/4 of a cup. Or gosh, for 1 smart point, you could afford some chips. We could have some tortilla chips with that one. But so I used some of this in a casserole that I made for Casey and Alan. It's Jimmy Dean fully cooked turkey, and it's turkey sausage crumbles. It's 60% less fat. It's not zero because it's not zero because it's just because it's turkey, but a half of a cup is only 2 smart points now. You know, because everything with turkey, or most everything with turkey, has gone down some. A half a cup is a lot. So remember, if you're doing your measuring cups, like this is a 1/4 of a cup. This is pretty big. This is a 1/4 of a cup. So a 1/4 of a cup would be 1 point. You could make a whole lot with, you know, with a 1/4 of a cup. So, but this is Jimmy Dean. It's frozen. It was already cooked. So, so it was, yeah, I mean, this was super easy to add into the casseroles. This would be great in soup. So this one will be going on the app, on the If You Have an Egg app. Anyway, it was really good. We put it in this stuff called Creamy Beefy Bake. I'll have to lighten that up for you all. Y'all can't have it like I made it for Casey. Anyway, so that one. And then also, this is in one of the recipes that we're going to be talking about at the end of the chat. But this is I've been getting a lot of questions about the meatless protein that I eat. So Beyond Meat, now there are other brands that I eat, but the Beyond Meat is the most, it's the most meat-like texture, if that makes any sense. So this, I'm sorry, and Kristen says, what is the app you're talking about? So again, quickly, it's the If You Have an Egg app. So it's an app that I did. It's not as fancy as Weight Watchers. You can't scan anything, but it does have Smart Point friendly items on it. It's got my recipes on it. You can, hey Diane, you can pull up YouTube. You can watch our chats on there if you want to. So yeah, I mean, it's just an easy way to access some things. I use it a lot, like when I'm going to Trader Joe's. If I don't have time to sit and go through, you know, and plan my list, I'll scroll through. Hey Kim, I'll scroll through. Oh, hold on a second. Kim says she's sorry she's late. She had a family meal with the grandkids. Kim, guess what? Now that I'm a grandmother, any excuse that involves grandchildren, you're already forgiven. You are already forgiven, yeah. I have a totally different attitude than I had last week, yeah. But anyway, so I use it like if I don't have a whole lot of time, or if I need to send somebody for me, because sometimes I gotta, you know, send people for me, then I'll just scroll through it and I'll say, okay, I'm only getting things that are 3 points or less. And I'll just scroll through the app, you know, I'll just pick Trader Joe's, go to 0 to 3 smart points, you know, pick some of those items and put them down and just send a quick list, you know, with somebody else. Or if I needed to send somebody who has the app, like somebody in my family, you know, they could find something pretty quick. And Marlene says, found you. We found you too, Marlene. We're glad that you're here. But I get a lot of questions about the plant-based protein that I eat, the Beyond Meat, even though I do eat some of the other brands. Yeah, Sally says, your smile is so big today. This is my grandma smile. Yay! Hey Monica, she says she's finally watching live. So this one I use a lot because it is the most beef-like in texture. So it's the most like ground beef. It's already cooked. You don't need to cook it. It's frozen, so it's really easy to use, and we're going to use it in one of the recipes that a couple of you girls are going to remind me about at 20 till. But this is pea protein. So if you know anybody who has who's allergic to soy, or who has, you know, some issues with soy, I know tofu is one of the things that we've been talking a lot about on Freestyle. But I also know several people who, yeah, and Kathleen says that's your grandma smile. She loves my grandma smile. Thank you. If you could see her in person, you would know why. But yeah, so I know several people who are, they're sensitive to soy, so they can't have it. So they can't have tofu. They can't have some of these other meatless things that we're talking about. So I wanted to let you all know the Beyond Meat, and they've got they've got crumbles. They have patties, and they've got several different things. And Meredith just downloaded the app. Thank you, Meredith. Let us know how you like it. So she, oh yeah, and Judy says, kudos to your dad for getting you something that was 0 points. I told him today, I said, hey, I know you don't, because he came to see the baby and to bring more food from Sam's, but I said, hey, I know you don't really care, and it doesn't mean anything to you. I said, but hey, that canned chicken that you got me, thank you, because that's 0 points. And he actually understood what I was talking about. So yeah, I was kind of excited about that too. Okay, so, but this is, I use this one a lot. Frozen, don't have to cook it. You can just heat it right up, I've used it in the soup that we're going to talk about today, but it's soy free. So if you know anybody that's got a soy intolerance, or if they have issues, makes them, you know, has some issues with it, whatever, or if they're flat out allergic to it, don't give them anything with soy in it. For the rest of us, soy is fine, but this is pea protein, so it's soy free, good for that. If you have gluten issues, it's gluten free, it's GMO free, it's vegan. If anybody out there is vegan, so we'll talk about this in one of the recipes in a few minutes, but yeah, but it's Beyond Meat, and a half of a cup is 1 Smart Point. So yeah, love this stuff. Okay, so let's get right in. Okay, so we already talked about who attended a meeting last week, and I told y'all I was parched because I'm serious. I didn't. Whew, my water level is so far down here. I mean, so far down here. I'm so dehydrated because we literally didn't do anything this week. Nothing this week. Oh, great. And it is already 8:30, so I'm going to have to talk fast. As if I don't anyway. Okay, and where do I get it? So Betsy wants to know where I get this. You can get this. I bought this at Kroger. I got this with the Kroger Click List, but you can also get it, believe it or not, you can get it at Target. They have it, if you have a big enough Target to have a freezer section, they have it at Target. And I think I've seen it at Publix, if I'm not mistaken, but anyway, my water table is low. I only ate a couple of meals from the hospital, and shoo, they were so salty. You know, we talked about salt levels, I guess earlier last week or whatever. Actually, that was the post. I posted that right before I posted the one about the water retention bust the bloat. I posted that at like midnight and went to bed, and Alan called 2 hours later to get me up to come to the hospital to watch Casey, you know, watch her until the next day. But anyway, so we got that posted, but yeah, man, that was salty. Okay, so let's talk about New Year's resolutions real quick, because I don't want to run out of time, and if we have to go past 20 till, excuse me, then we can just be quick on the, recipes then. So I want to talk about New Year's. So who made a New Year's resolution? So I know today's already the 7th, but not, some of us probably made resolutions at the end of last year. Some of us have probably been talking about our resolutions all year, but then some of us are still thinking about it. So who's already made, if you're watching us here live, do a thumbs up if you've already made a New Year's resolution. And if you're watching this later on youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg, just go ahead and comment if you've made a New Year's resolution. So yeah, everybody makes them. So what kind of resolutions did you make? People make all kinds of resolutions, like, you know, I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to, you know, I don't know, people do all kinds. Okay, so like Kim gave up powdered creamer. So this whole year is going to be like Lent for Kim. I'm not Catholic, but it's going to be like Lent for Kim. She's going to give up creamer. She's going to be off the creamer for the whole thing. Okay, so let's just talk about this. New Year's resolutions, what's the next thing people always say? When they say, oh, I made a New Year's resolution, then within a couple of weeks, within a week or two, and we're at that 1 week mark, people say, well, you know, resolutions are made to be broken. Okay, so, and I saw some people that said that you don't make resolutions, and I'm guessing that maybe you don't make resolutions because it's really easy to set ourselves up with a huge, you know, a big, you know, resolution, a big idea on a resolution, and then to not follow through on it. So when I wanted to talk about in tonight's chat, and I've only given myself like 15 minutes to talk about it now, but what I wanted to talk about was not to make such a huge resolution that you are setting yourself up for, I don't want to say failure, but you're setting yourself up for disappointment. So I'm seeing a lot of joined a gym, keep moving, things like that. Those are great ones. But let's try to keep them small. So what I want to talk about real quick is the difference between want and will. So there are a whole lot of things I want to do in 2018. So I want to be 5'7". Okay, even if I stand up really tall, I'm 5'5" and a smidge. So even though I want to be 5'7", that's probably not going to happen. I want to walk 7 days a week. Will I? I want to change some things at my business so that I could be off one day a week and keep Alyssa. Will I? I want to get back underneath my goal weight. Will I? So there's a difference between, and Casey's gonna laugh when she sees the hands. She knows what I'm talking about. There's a difference between what I want, but in this case, Casey, I'm gonna say in this hand is what I want, and then in this hand is what I will do. So let's try to take our New Year's resolutions, and even if you don't do resolutions, let's try to make a commitment to ourselves that is something that you want, but it's also something that you will do. So I'm going to ask you all to do something. Yeah, Casey said the sales boys would be so proud, except I didn't use it quite like they do, but you know. Anyway, so close enough. And thank you, Barbara says it's 8:35. So Barbara, I'm probably going to go past. I'll probably go till about 15 till, but thank you very much, ma'am, for keeping up with the time for me. Okay, so there's one thing that I want y'all to do. I want everybody to make, even if you're not going to call it a resolution, even if you're not going to call this a New Year's resolution, I want you all to pick one thing, resolution or not, that you're going to do this year, but I want it to be not weight related. So, and I know Casey just posted one that was weight related. I want y'all to pick one thing that's either, you can call it a resolution or not, whatever you want to call it, but pick one thing that you want to do, in 2018, that you will do in 2018, but that's not weight related. So I'm talking things like, in 2018, I want to be able to ride on an airplane without asking for the extension, the extension on the seatbelt. And I will do that. I want to be able to walk 3 miles without having to stop and catch my breath. I think that's a good one. If you pick that one, I think you will do that. I want to, okay, Sandra says give up Diet Coke. I want to be able to give up, Sandra wants to be able to give up Diet Coke. Okay, Sandra, will you? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to give that up? Are you going to switch it out for something else? Are you going to replace that with something else? But I want you all to make it not weight related, not weight related. So I want to be off more often, and that doesn't seem like that would have anything to do with with Weight Watchers or with weight management, but I need some downtime. What I want is to be able to just quit my job and just stay with Alyssa all the time. Is that going to happen? No. Will I do that? No. I own the company. I'm not going to quit my job unless Casey wants to take over while I stay home with her adorable baby. But what I will do, though, is surround myself with people this year that can help me to be able to take the time off, because suddenly I have somebody very important that I want to take some time off for. So I want to be able to take off one day every week, not Sunday, because Sunday's already off. That day's already off, but I want to take off one day a week, and I will surround myself with people so that I can take off that day a week, because I, again, suddenly have somebody more important. So what are some things that you all want to do that you will do? And again, don't make them weight related, because I want this to be, the reason I don't want it to be weight related is because when we get so hung up on the scale and we say things like, I want to lose 50 pounds this year, then I'm serious, I've done it, I know you all have done it. If I were to set a goal and say, I want to lose 50 pounds this year, and then if you lose 48, 45, 48, we feel like a disaster. I didn't meet my goal, so never mind, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to give up because I didn't meet the 50 pounds. Or I'm going to lose 2 pounds a week, and then if you lose 1 pound a week, well, whatever, I'm not going to do it. I know me, and I know a lot of you all, and we just have a tendency to beat ourselves up. So I want 2018, which, by the way, 2018 is the year of the dog, so it's Dusty's year. So yeah, the year's going to go to the dogs. But so what I want y'all to do is to come up with whatever your resolution, your goal, your whatever you're going to call it. I want you to come up with something that if you are a little less than perfect, if you're not 100%, that you're not gonna beat yourself up. We're gonna make 2018 a more relaxing year. We're gonna learn how to breathe. We're gonna use freestyle, and we're gonna ride it to the moon, whatever, in 2018. Hey, Janice just got here. But so in 2018, we're gonna stress less about how much we weigh. We're gonna stress less about whether or not we're doing everything exactly right. We're going to stress less about when we go over on our points. So I'm going to start gearing the chats around trying to help, make your lives more easier. I think we can freestyle our way through this. I think the freestyle program is going to really it's kind of let me make some things and eat some things and whatever that I had taken off of my menu. So I'm just much more relaxed about the new program and the new plan. So, okay, I'm seeing lots of great ones. I'm going to be more grateful for the blessings that I have in my life. I'm going to purge the junk from my house. Okay, I want you to be a little more specific though. Are you going to purge one room worth of junk from your house? And Lynn, you say, so when you set these, let's be a little bit more specific. So Lynn wants to be more active so that when her granddaughter comes in at Easter, she's going to be able to visit with her more, and she's going to go to Curves 4 days a week instead of 3. Lynn, I think 4 days a week. Uh-oh. I'm over my time. I think 4 days a week, is doable. I think if people are going to do, try to say they're going to do something 7 days a week, that would be awesome. Like me saying I want to walk 7 days a week, I don't think that's realistic. So I want to walk 7 days a week. 2018, I will walk 5 days a week. I will walk 5 days a week. I've done it before, and I can do it again. So what are some of your goals? And you girls down there that are getting in trouble, I'll be calling you to my office later, because we got some girls trying to make some resolutions that don't have any idea what y'all are talking about. But anyway, let's see. And Mary wants to get rid of some things that she doesn't need or use and give them to someone who will use them. That's awesome, Mary, but I want you to be a little bit more specific. So I want you to say let's say you're going to make a grocery bag a week or a grocery bag a month. That's what you want to do, because think about it, if you did a grocery bag, if you just did like a plastic grocery bag size every week, how much stuff you would get rid of before the end of the year. And Casey says she wants to be able to walk laps comfortably at the mall with the stroller. I think that's awesome. I think you should say, if you say, okay, first you're going to do one lap. You're going to do one lap around the stroller or around the mall with the stroller. And then, your goal for the next week maybe is 2 laps and then 3 laps. And maybe you can set a distance that you're going to do with the stroller, because I have a feeling by the time the end of the year comes that you're going to be, lapping that mall, or you're going to be, finding a track to walk on. So it looks like y'all are going to be purging a lot of junk. A whole lot of y'all are saying purging junk. Donna's saying family dinners 3 times a week. Are y'all going to sit at a table? Donna, are y'all going to sit at a table with real plates and real silverware and sit as an actual family? That's exciting. Phones away. That'll be fun if the phones are away and y'all actually just sit and talk to each other. Okay, and Sybil wants to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. So I think y'all are coming up with some great ones. Keep talking. Let's keep going. Seriously, we're going to make this a fun, easy, and guilt-free year. We're not beating ourselves up this year. We're just going to go, we're going to go for this year. So it is already about 17 till. So let me go ahead and talk about 3 things that we made this week, even with all the baby stuff. Sorry, a little parched. Oh, and before I forget, okay, if you're in our If You Have an Egg group, this talking about being able to do things, the thing with the grocery bags made me think of it. So if you think about things like that, like the putting stuff in a grocery bag once a week, putting things you don't need in a grocery bag once a week and getting rid of it, that would be 12 grocery bags. So if you think about it in little teeny tiny pieces like that, then it builds up, you know, makes a huge amount in the end. So Cheryl had posted a thing on our If You Have an Egg group that said, and I can't remember exactly what it says. And Cheryl, did you create that, Cheryl, or did you find that somewhere that we can print out? But I want to go back. I want y'all to go back and hunt for that. And when you're on If You Have an Egg, we haven't put it in the file section yet. So if you just go up at the top, if you go to the search bar and type in Cheryl, and it should pop up and scroll through some of her posts. It's been probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, but she posted a thing that said that by, what was it? It said, Cheryl, by Valentine's Day, I will, you know, such and such by, if I only do this by Valentine's Day, I will be at such and such by, oh, it was on your wall. Can you share that? So Cheryl says it was something on her wall. Can you share that in the group, Cheryl, or can you send it, or can you send it to me? Is that something that's like a picture or something that you can send to me, and I'll get it posted, so that we can post it on there, because it was really, really cool, because it was talking about all these little bitty steps, that if you take these little bitty steps, that by you know, by Valentine's Day you would be here, you know, you would be here. And if you do some more little bitty steps by and I'm making this up because I don't remember exactly what it said, but like by St. Patrick's Day you would be here. Some more little bitty steps, you would be here. More little bitty steps here, more little bitty steps here. It was awesome though, the way it was written out. Oh my gosh, it was, I don't know, I loved it. Obviously I loved it because I'm still talking about it. Okay, so the 3 things that I've made in the last couple of days, and you know, yeah, so my creativity for the first 6 days was like way down here. Way down here. Yeah, didn't want to make anything, just wanted to eat hard-boiled eggs all day or pizza, and that's it. So today we finally had a couple of nights of sleeping all night. Casey and Alan have got this parenting thing down. They've nailed it. It only took them a week to get there. So yeah, so I've had a couple of nights of, you know, of an actual night's sleep. So this morning my creativity was like, was through the roof on food. Okay, this doesn't look as good now as it did this morning. Still tasting it though, it still tastes good. Okay, so we'll talk about these some more, and I'll post the actual recipes later. Will not be tonight, because remember, we're all still trying to catch up on sleep from Alyssa's arrival. I know it's been a week, but this one, I had been talking about, I don't know, several weeks ago, I guess, when we first found out that tofu was going to be 0 smart points. This is tofu made in the waffle iron. Yeah, so I'm not going to call them Tegos because that would just be weird. But anyway, but this is tofu made in the waffle iron, and so I'll post the recipe later in the week. It's not going to be tonight, but just to give you a general idea, because you know, people keep saying, well, look, you know, what can I make with tofu? You can make all kinds of things. This is just extra firm tofu. Pressed all the water out of it, you know, pressed most of the moisture out of it. Cut into 1-inch slices, and I used some unsweetened almond milk and some vanilla, dredged it in that. Then I rolled it in a Truvia baking blend, the Truvia sugar baking blend, that and some cinnamon, and then cook it in the waffle iron. And it literally takes like 4 minutes for these to cook, and they're not now because they've been sitting in the refrigerator. But and Sally says Tego isn't weird. We'll think about it. But anyway, when they're fresh out of the waffle iron, they're crispy on the outside and kind of fluffy on the inside, I guess. I loved them. I thought they were really good. Tofu off. Lori says tofu offals. I can't even say it. I don't know. I really liked them, but I like tofu. Not gonna lie, John didn't like them. So I need to find, Kim says raffles. So I need to find some other civilians to try this on. If I could keep them hot enough, I would take them up to Nana to see what she thinks. But really super easy. Tofaffles. Tofaffles? I don't know. Okay, yeah, now Casey's saying tofaffles. But anyway, they were really good. Straight out of the waffle iron, really good. Hot, again, crisp on the outside, fluffy on the inside. And we'll be making some more tofu things in the waffle iron, but super easy. And who doesn't have 4 minutes? I mean, you can get all of this ready. You can get ready the night before or the day before or the morning before or whatever. and just pop them into the waffle iron. So how easy is that? Okay, tofu. Oh my gosh, you all are hilarious. Yeah, and Sally says, see, Taco doesn't sound so bad now, does it? Nope, not really. Taffles. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Okay, this is for all of you who want to eat delicata squash, but you don't have an air fryer. That's probably the #1 complaint that I get about the delicata squash air fryer recipe is people who don't have an air fryer, which bless your hearts if you don't already have one, because it's like, I don't know, I'm not the gadgety queen, as Angie can attest, because I haven't purchased the Instant Pot yet. But I'm telling you, that waffle iron, I mean not waffle iron, well I use the waffle iron a lot too, but the air fryer, I probably use it. Well look, can you see it? It's out. Like it never ever, except to get cleaned, it never leaves its spot. See, and I knew Angie was going to say something about the pressure cooker, but anyway, my air fryer never ever ever leaves its spot on the, off the counter, ever. But so all of you who have been wanting to try the delicata squash, if you can still find it, because Brandy says hers is out. I know, I'm sorry. And I actually saved some seeds and I accidentally sprouted them. But Casey and Alan, whether they want one or not, are going to have a garden next year. So yeah, so they're gonna have delicata squash growing in their garden if we can help it. And Monica says, what brand of air fryer? So I have. Oh, and Tammy has tofu obia. We're going to work on that, Tammy. We'll work on your tofu obia. The air fryer that I have is a Power XL, and I love it. And I got the biggest one. Accidentally, John ordered it for me, and he got me the biggest one that there was, and I didn't think I needed it. I fill that puppy up. Fill it up. I use it every single day. But anyway, for those of you who wanted to be able to try the delicata squash, but you don't have an air fryer, and again, it doesn't look really appetizing now just because I've had it in the refrigerator since this morning, but if you go back and look at my post from this morning for our breakfast, we had both of these for breakfast, and the delicata squash, I made it with some apples, so I had 2 apples that had just about had it, from where we've been at the hospital and we're at Casey's all week. So my grandmother had a fried apple recipe. Oh great, and Cheryl found the baby steps thing, and she's tagged me in it, so we'll be able to share that later. But so my grandmother made they're called fried apples, but the kind I make, you're not really frying them, but I still call them fried apples. Anyway, I did that with and you can cook that in a regular skillet. I've just got a copper skillet. Cook that with so I sliced up the apples and the delicata squash, and I'll share this as a recipe, not tonight, but I will share it as a recipe. But just chopped up the apples, or sliced up the apples, sliced up the delicata squash. You don't peel it, and then cooked it in a little bit of water with some more of the Truvia sugar blend and some cinnamon, and sprayed them with a little bit of nonstick coconut spray, and they're perfect. They're absolutely perfect. So if you don't have an air fryer, you can still cook the delicata squash. Don't have to cook them in the oven. I'm trying to even think when the last time was that I've turned my actual oven on, because I've gotten to where I cook so much now in either my copper skillet, the air fryer, or my waffle iron. I don't even use my stove anymore. Okay, and then the last thing, because it is, we still have 8 minutes. I can keep jibber jabbering. But so the last thing is this. Okay, before I hold it up, this right here, and y'all can't see it yet, this is why I love Freestyle. So I lost all my weight on, well, of course I've been doing Weight Watchers for 24 years and had piddled around in it, had, lost 20, gained 20, lost 20, gained 22, lost 18, gained 25, lost, if y'all can see a trend going here, I'd lose, gain, anyway. So when my accountability buddy, Karen, and I finally got serious about it, I got to goal on Points Plus. And when we switched to Smart Points, I fought it tooth and nail. I would not do it, didn't do it, wouldn't try it, didn't switch any of my stuff out, left all of my stuff on Points Plus, even though my app changed over, my Weight Watchers app changed over. I left all my handwritten stuff, all my recipes, everything on Points Plus for over a week. I absolutely refused to move to Smart Points because, I don't know, somewhere in my head, I guess because a couple of the things that I was eating, the points doubled. So when it went from Points Plus to Smart Points, the points on some of the things I was eating more than doubled, like Fiber One bars. So I spent that whole first week literally with my heels dug in and saying, not gonna do it, not gonna do it, not gonna do it. I am staying on Points Plus. Okay, after I got my knickers out of a wad, then I realized, okay, maybe I do need to look at this because apparently I'm living on Fiber One bars, protein bars, you know, this whole list of things with all the things that the points jumped up so high. Apparently, I was living on those, and I wasn't, I wasn't eating any food. I wasn't eating any real food. I was eating probably a box of Fiber One bars every 3 or 4 days, and I was eating protein, you know, just eating protein bars for a couple of meals a day. I wasn't eating any real food. So when I finally, you know, again, got my knickers out of a wad, and started doing Smart Points, I was a lot happier, because I was eating more real food. I was getting things that were healthier for my body. Well, so, you know, we had, what, 2 years on Smart Points to get it, you know, get the system down, understand what we were doing, get that all, you know, get that all underway. Then when we switched to, but there was still, you know, something just a little lacking, just something, there was something about Smart Points, and I didn't know what, but there was something about Smart Points that was still just a little bit lacking. And my mom kept feeding me all this food that was delicious and filled me up and felt good. I mean, like it felt like I should be eating it, but it was so high in points that I only ate it on Saturdays with her, and, you know, sometimes she would, you know, send some leftovers with me, but I was never making any of this for myself because it was so high in Smart Points. Well, enter Freestyle, and Freestyle has brought back all of the things that Nana was feeding me that I was depriving myself of other actual food-wise because it was so many points. So, tofu, you know, I don't know, I had never eaten it before, didn't want to eat it before. Nana introduced me to tofu. I like it. I actually do like it if it's cooked correctly. So tofu, beans, peas, corn, yeah, so all of these things that were, you know, that were points, and I do like I like chicken a lot, turkey, fish, so all of these things, excuse me while I put this back over here, but all of these things that I had kind of cut out of my diet because they were too many points, now that they are 0 Smart Points, even though, you know, my daily amount went from 30 down to 23 like most of yours did, the things that I wanted to eat, so much, the things that Nana was feeding me, now that they're 0, now I can have these, and I don't miss the 20. I don't miss those other 7 points. I don't need them. Okay, so this is what I made for supper tonight. This is why I love Freestyle. And if it didn't have so much liquid in it, yes, eggs. Yes, exactly, Lynn. Eggs. Yum, 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 yum. So most of my breakfasts are like 1 point now. But anyway, so I can't tilt it too much because it does have a lot of liquid in it, but this is exactly why I love Freestyle. So this bowl of soup, this is taco soup. Normally this used to cost me 6 Smart Points. So when we were on regular Smart Points, this was a 6 Smart Point bowl of taco soup. Well, because I made just a few slight changes once we went to Freestyle, now this is a 1 point bowl of soup. Then I have 1 point of shredded cheese on here, and then for the topping, that is not sour cream. This is 2 points, even with the cheese on top. So what I did differently, beans are 0 now, and I will post this recipe, but this has 2 cans of beans in it, doesn't matter what kind. Sometimes I always put black beans in it when it's taco soup. Black beans, and then either kidney beans or pinto beans or whatever other kinds of beans I like. Even people who don't like beans. So I think, Cheryl, aren't you my person who can't stand beans? Even if you don't like beans, you're gonna like this soup. So tonight it has because I make it different every time. But it has black beans. Tonight it has black beans and pinto beans, peas, and lima beans. Peas I don't normally put in, but I had some peas I needed to get rid of. Corn. It always has corn in it. 2 cans of Rotel. Rotel is 0 now, and it used to be a point for the kind that I buy. So, Cheryl, I promise you would like this soup. But anyway, so all the different beans, the corn, but I used this, and Kim, you need to try the taco soup, even if you don't like beans. So, my very best friend on the planet does not eat, or she didn't used to eat just beans. My dad tried to feed her beans one time, and he asked her, he said, Melanie, honey, do you like beans? And she answered, well, I can eat them. So she didn't like them, but she was willing to gag them down just because that's what he had made. So Melanie loves this soup. She doesn't like beans, but she loves this soup. So I promise if you'll just give it a try, it doesn't taste like beans if you don't like beans. But I switched it to, instead of hamburger meat, I used the Beyond Meat. Remember, for a half a cup, it's 1 smart point. So put the whole bag in there. So it's 2 kinds of beans. 2 kinds of beans. You can add lima beans or something like that if you want to. Corn always has corn in it. 2 cans of Rotel. You can do the shredded cheese on top. Tonight I've got chives on it. It's really good with cilantro on it. I also include 2 packets of the original ranch dressing, just the powdered dressing, 2 packages of these, and then you add taco seasoning to taste, and I use the Dax Taco Night and just use it to taste. So the Dax, I've had some people say that it's kind of strong. I love it. I don't think it's that strong, but you just season that to taste before you start letting it cook. I like the Dax because it doesn't have any salt in it, but you can use any kind of taco seasoning you want to. And put all that in your crock pot and stir it all together. Let it cook on. Oh, and I'm sorry, I'll put this in the recipe, but I put a couple of cans of a couple of the Rotel cans after I've dumped it out. I'll put those with water in there, and it makes, depending on how much water you put in it, it makes 12 to 15, approximately 1 cup serving. So like a whole cup serving, and it's 1 smart point. Let's see. Okay, Donna says, how is the sodium content in that soup with the dressing mix? Okay. So the dressing, this dressing, so I use the Dax. It has no sodium. This has, let me find it here. It has 135 milligrams of sodium. If it was, let's see, if you used the whole packet, yeah, it's probably going to be about 135 to 150 grams of sodium. Okay, and Carol's saying there's no points for this. Not after you divide this out into the 12 to 15 servings, then no. If you were just to make this, yes, there would be points in it. But if you, after you've divided that out into the 12 to 15 servings, then no, that divides it out enough, there are no extra points. So it's 1 point. So for all of that, for a cup, it makes 1, it's 1 point. Then I add, it's 12 to 15. Monica said, depending on how much water you put in it, it's 12 to 15 servings, Monica. And then I add 1 ounce of Trader Joe's shredded light mozzarella cheese, and that adds 1 more point. And then this, on top right here, that is not sour cream. That is plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. If you use it in this, like this, if you use it in soup like this, if you use it on tacos, if you use it something like that, it tastes just like sour cream without doing anything to it. It is the weirdest thing. I can't explain why it tastes like sour cream in this instance. But yeah, so that's what we use to top things with sour, like sour cream. So yeah, so that whole bowl is only 2 smart points. Chives are good on it. Again, cilantro, really good on it. I just didn't have any tonight. But because now what used to be a 6-point cup of soup, because that's only 1 smart point for the soup, and then it was 1 smart point for the cheese that I added. Because of that, I had a half of a peanut butter sandwich with it, with real peanut butter. Real peanut butter, not shake powder peanut butter, real peanut butter. And Rose wants to know if you can freeze it. Yes, it is awesome frozen. I mean, like reheated. But yes, it freezes so well, so well. So I usually break it out into, after it is, like after it's cooled off. So I've got some, back here, even though I normally wherever it is, over here. So even though I normally cook it in the crock pot, I didn't have time to do that tonight, so I cooked it on the stove. And yes, after it's completely cooled down, then I'll divide it into about 2 cup, servings, so that that's enough for each of us to have a cup. And stick it in the freezer, and it reheats great. And it's kind of like chili. You know how chili tastes better the next time you heat it up? It's kind of like that. It's actually better the next time you heat it up. Okay, it is after 9, and y'all are still asking questions, so I promise I will answer them all later. I'll type the answers. Betty wants to know, did I drain the cans? Yes, Betty, on the beans. Yes, I drained the beans and rinsed them before I put them in, just because rinsed beans tend to cause less. Let's just call them, okay, anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, yes, I drained the beans, and rinsed them before I put them in there. Okay, so, this chat was supposed to be about New Year's, and it was supposed to be about resolutions, or whatever you're going to call them if you don't call them resolutions. So, is everybody still thinking about that? Is everybody still thinking about what their resolution is? Do y'all want me to see if I can get... yeah, Betty just said, is Dusty asleep? Dusty, come here. Come here, buddy. Let me just tell you, Dusty has taken this baby thing. Come here. Dusty has taken this baby thing harder than anybody else. He wants her. Come here. Come on. Dusty. Come here, buddy. Okay, I may have to go get him. Anyway, Dusty has taken this harder than anybody else. He wants her so bad. He loves kids, and he loves bigger babies, but this is the first newborn baby that he's ever seen, and he can't figure out what she is. And every time she makes even the littlest squeak, he goes berserk. I think not because like he's not in a bad way, but berserk, like I need her, there's something wrong with it. He's just like, oh, there's something wrong with it, because he doesn't know what it is yet. But anyway, he wants her very badly. So I've let him lick her feet, and I was letting him sniff the top of her head, and he licked her hair. So yeah, I had to send him out of the room. But anyway, he'll get over it. She'll be fine. So let me see if I can grab him real quick. Come here, buddy. Hurry. Hurry. Get up. Y'all have to see him because he has on pajamas. Oh, goodness. Oh. Okay. Sorry that took so long, but you have to see him because he has on pajamas. So I know in lots of areas right now, it is extra freezing cold. Here, we've had almost every day this week, we have actually been colder than Alaska. So Knoxville, Tennessee is not supposed to be colder than Alaska. But yeah, so Dusty has on pajamas right now. Yeah. And he is Alyssa's dunkle. He is her dog uncle. So yeah, so we're going to be super excited when he finally gets used to her. But anyway, so you all, you can see he's very sleepy. It's been a rough day on baby watch. But anyway, so y'all have an awesome week. Oh no, Sally said it was negative 24 this morning. Never mind, Sally, you win. You win. And oh yeah, Donna says go Vols. Oh yeah, we beat Kentucky last night. So just so y'all know, in basketball, that's kind of a big deal. I don't really watch basketball, but that's a really big deal. But anyway, so y'all have an awesome week. Keep those resolutions coming, and I want to hear all about them. And yes, Angie, we missed you too. It was good to see you. So everybody say good night, Dusty, and good night to Alyssa. And I'd say that Casey and Ellen are probably ready to take a nap. Rose said it was 65 where she is. Rose, that's not fair. Anyway, I think we're going to be a balmy 45 tomorrow. So we're ready for it. We're excited for that. So stay tuned for the recipes that I posted. Everybody keep posting your resolutions, and let's get back on this because we're going to make 2018. It's going to be our year. It's going to be the year of the egglets. But anyway, good night. Thank you all for your patience. While we took some time with the baby, and yeah, in case he says good night, buddy. He says good night. But yeah, thanks for letting me have a fun week off, and I'm sure I'll be inundating you with more pictures of the grandbaby soon. So good night, everybody. Talk to you soon. Thanks for being here. Good night.